They took him to the Portland ICE facility even after they knew they had the wrong person in custody. They checked his criminal record, found nothing, and decided to transfer him to Tacoma anyway. We asked that he be released immediately. I am worried for his mental health and his physical health, as conditions in the facility are abhorrent. Food is worse than what they feed inmates in jail, and the portions are very small, often leaving him hungry. They are packed 80 to a room with no privacy, 3 toilets, and 3 showers for 80 men to share. ICE has not been updating their ODLS website as they are booking people, making it impossible to know where our loved ones are. They use the government shutdown as an excuse for not doing their job. Yet they're out here every single day detaining people. We need to hold them accountable for their actions and wrongdoings. We need to direct county sheriffs to uphold the civil rights of every resident in Washington County. We need to be able to call them to ensure that ICE is presenting warrants and ensure that they are taking the person that they intended to take. And if we can't count on our law enforcement, then we as a community need to take action. When we see someone being detained, ask the agents to identify themselves, ask them if they have warrants. Ask them, we can record the incident and keep them accountable. My dad had a bond hearing yesterday where the judge ruled that if she had jurisdiction, she would have granted a $3,000 bond, the lowest that they've seen. However, the judge ruled she didn't have jurisdiction, thus no bond was granted. The U.S. Constitution says every single person, no matter their status, has a right to due process, a chance to defend their rights and to have a fair hearing. Yet they continue to violate our rights. This not only affects the people being detained, it affects the community as a whole. People are terrified to leave their homes. Children are living with anxiety that their parents will be taken next. This administration is working hard to divide us, painting immigrants as animals, lying and saying they're only detaining criminals, but we have seen that's not true. They are taking hard-working individuals, sole providers for their families, leaving mothers and children without their main source of income. People who were simply on their way to work, trying to make a living. We cannot let hate win. We need to come together and look out for each other and speak up for those who are scared to speak up for themselves. These agents are cruel and use unnecessary force, many times detaining people who are here legally, and they don't even bother to verify that, because more detainees means more money for them. It is sick and it's twisted. That you're not alone. All of these people here have classmates, friends, coworkers, neighbors, or other people in their lives who have been impacted by these raids just in our community. And there are so many people who cannot join us because they are not safe in their own city. I also want to say to the people out there who believe that this issue will not impact you, maybe because you're not an immigrant or you're not worried about being profiled, that this is your proof that nobody is exempt from experiencing this pain. Victor does not have a criminal record. He was detained without a warrant and without justification. He was taken off the street by masked men, imprisoned, and has been violated on so many of his rights. As a community and a society, we have to accept that the loss of innocent people like Victor and the loss of his rights is a loss for all of us. If we cannot count on the laws or the principles of liberty and justice for all, then what can we stand on? And if that bothers you, if you think that's wrong, like I do, now is the time to speak up.
In solidarity for Victor and with Victor's family, demanding that this man comes home. What happened to Victor is unacceptable, and it should shake us all to our core. We've heard about how he is a longtime resident, a husband, a business owner, un abuelito, a grandfather. He is a deeply rooted member integrated in this community, and his wrongful detention should shame all of us as Americans. His case reflects a disregard for due process and civil rights, like so many other Oregonians are suffering right now. We should be demanding that the Department of Homeland Security and ICE stop this madness. But sadly, cruelty seems to be the point of this administration. And for me, I have to say this moment is deeply personal, like it is for so many of the people that I grew up with in this community. When my father came to this country, he was undocumented. He worked the hardest jobs. He learned the language, and after many years, he earned his citizenship. So when I see this failure of justice, when the laws of this nation are used to violate the rights of someone like Victor, I can't help but think about how easily it could have been my father. And that is why I am here. Because when this administration targets immigrants, it is not an abstract exercise. They are talking about our family, my neighbors, and the people who build and serve this region, this country, every single day. My message to Oregonians is simple. We must stand up for one another and pay attention to what is happening before our eyes. There is a secret police with masked officers. They are armed to the teeth with weapons of war on our streets, assault rifles. And they are operating with zero accountability.
What is happening on the streets of Hillsborough and our country is disgusting. The way ICE is conducting itself, they consider themselves above the law. If Hillsborough police conducted themselves the way ICE conducts themselves, the Hillsborough police officer who did those actions would lose their job.
Exactly.
Because that is not how we conduct ourselves here. Victor was arrested by ICE agents without a warrant. He was abducted in a way, as you have heard, that was inhumane and cruel. He has a valid work permit and a pending visa, and he has lived in the U.S. for over 30 years. We can all help Victor by standing up, using our voice, contacting our congressmen and senators and let them know how we feel, although Representative Bonamici knows how we feel, and she is fighting for us. But making your voice heard. You can also help Latino businesses by going to the business, frequenting the business. If you are hungry, go to a Latino restaurant. Support the Latino community because their clientele is staying home, understandably, because of ICE. So if you're wondering what you can do, shop. If you're wondering what you can do, eat. If you're wondering what you can do, use your voice. And then if you see an ICE activity in a process, record it.
Due process is a constitutional right for all persons, regardless of their immigration status. Right now, our immigrant and working families need actionable advocacy and protection. To everyone who has held a No King sign, it is time to take the next step to become PERC certified as a legal observer in our neighborhoods. ICE is here in our community, targeting our immigrant communities, their families, and abducting our civic rights and human dignity in Hillsborough and throughout Washington County. The only path forward is community protecting community.
It is our privilege to have him in our lives. As a neighbor and a friend, Victor deserves to be treated with dignity, not kidnapped and imprisoned. As a fellow business owner and resident of this community, I am saddened and heartbroken that this is happening in a place that we call home. Victor is a treasured member of this community.
Keep yourself and your neighbors safe. Check in with one another. Make sure families know they are not alone. Become familiar with the best practices for dealing with ICE in our community. You mentioned getting PERC certified. If you're not familiar with PERC certification, that's something worth checking out. If you witness ICE activity, do safely record it, but please do not upload it to social media. Contact the Portland Immigration Rights Coalition, PERC, and report what you saw. They know how to document these incidents and protect families without putting anyone at further risk. This movement is bigger than one man, and it doesn't end today. We will keep showing up, and we will keep demanding transparency, and we will keep fighting for safety and dignity of every member of this community. We'll be meeting with the media for about the next 20 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to stay. Thank you again for standing with Victor, with all of our neighbors impacted by this injustice. Stay safe, stay peaceful, stay united. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.